Guys, by now we all know about this whole Zulu parade in New Orleans thing. By the time it clocked on my radar, which is basically the same day, you guys were already in this thing. The war cry had been sounded.
Wahala don't bust. You guys, my people, wahala the shell for the street of social media, and you know now your girl has to bring the J to you guys. Now, so what did they happen? Bo. My Hibo people are having it heated with Black Americans. Yes, you see these African American people versus South Africa. That is what is going on right now. Because tell me why. Tell me why. African Americans in New Orleans had the guts to throw a, what do they call it? Zulu parade. They had the temerity and the guts to go and do something that belongs to the South African, and then they funkified it and, made it trendy, color and whatnot. And they now had the temerity and extra effort to paint their face black. They painted their face black. The South Africans were not having it. And they came both bars for African Americans. Let me tell you something that for the past few days it's been heated over there. This one I want to say is more than what what was that challenge that they did that time? Was it the boat war? That boat war. This one is almost more than boat war, but now it's still not more than boat war because last South Africa and then bow, they bow to Nigerians. But Simio, you guys, finally they shall look for a way and bring in Nigerians. You will see them. Somebody was even saying in the comment that call it Yoruba whatever. Are you okay? Yoruba parade. Are you guys okay? Don't do that over here. We are not going to take it. If it's about the African Americans, Black Americans, deal with it as it is anyway. Let me not say too much, okay? I'm going to let you guys see what the real Zulu parade, Zulu tradition thing is not a parade. The real Zulu tradition looks like. And I'm going to show you guys also what the New Orleans Zulu parade looks like. I'm going to listen to what people thought the both bars. It's plenty. We're going to listen to the ghost guys that was transferring right there, and I'll see you guys right at the end.
Why are Americans so willfully ignorant? Not really, honestly. Actually, no, let me pause the blacklist so I can really get into this. Okay, so a video gets released of some Zulu Day cultural event of sorts, or march or parade or something. I think it was in New Orleans or Philadelphia. I don't know, something like that. And obviously they are adorned in what they perceive to be Zulu regalia. And as soon as I saw that video, I was like, Zulu parade? I was like, what the hell are they wearing? Because personally, my entire life, having been born to two Zulu parents, having been born in KwaZulu Natal. So then obviously the South Africans are now in the comments trying to educate the Americans about the fact that this is not a correct representation of the Zulu culture, right? Because even at some points, I even started thinking to myself, okay, like maybe I'm a different kind of a Zulu and America has its own version of Zulu. But that isn't the point. The point is the fact that through us trying to educate them of the fact that this is a complete misrepresentation, it's actually giving cultural appropriation. But okay, that's another story for another day. They are up in arms telling us about we are in fact the ones that are wrong. And I'm like, how? Am I going to go now to Japan and tell Japanese people how to make sushi? Am I going to go to Australia and tell a kangaroo how to be a kangaroo? On what authority? And the thing is, Google is free. So now when you Google Zulu culture and you see the pictures there in Google and you see what mess was happening there in New Orleans, like what goes through your head, if anything at all? Also, happy Easter Sunday. I've definitely had one too many of those white Easter eggs. I'm gonna go get more now anyway.
Good morning. Somebody get me in contact with the New Orleans Zulu Parade people because I will be there next.
And I urge you to do it. And while you put on that black face makeup to mock a nation that came to a fight with nothing but spears and strategy and still managed to beat the British army, who had guns and bazookas, remember the following. Judging by the way that you speak and your demeanor, I'm going to assume you're a member of the LGBTQI+ community. Your president is signing into legislature laws that are going to strip you of your rights. and you can't do shit about it. The face of prison reform in your country is an Armenian woman whose claim to fame was a sex tape. Kim Kardashian made her way into the Oval Office to sign laws into place that will get your brothers out of prison because you don't have the power to do it. Your fellow Americans are mad that we currently have a white Miss South Africa. Caitlyn Jenner was awarded Glamour's Woman of the Year when she hadn't even been a woman for a year. Referring to yourselves as African Americans, but you have no clue what part of Africa you even come from. Yeah, you're so educated. At least the fight for land in South Africa still continues, and some of us have been successful in getting our land back 400 years post-slavery. Where are your reparations? Yeah, land of the free and home of the brave. It's the USA. Yase born. Tag.
The word of the day is divide and conquer. I'm actually kind of disappointed to see the behavior of South Africa, but I'm not surprised. The argument that y'all are arguing over is old. Black Americans and Africans have been arguing and fighting for decades. Now, New Orleans and South Africa actually had a good relationship, or maybe still do have a good relationship. Right now, we just don't like each other, and that's okay, because we don't always have to like each other, as long as we have a mutual respect. Now, y'all done took this Zulu thing to a whole nother level. Now y'all directing it to slavery in America, and y'all making fun of it. Well, I just want to let y'all know that that's what makes us resilient. You making fun of that, but we are the most evolved Black people in this world. Let's start there. In 1881, Booker T. Washington opened up a Black college called Tuskegee College. One of the most powerful, complex, and truths about history is that Black Americans were legally free before African nations gained their independence. Black Americans were free in 1865. Africa didn't gain their independence until 1950. So understand, we have a story to tell here in America. And slavery is what makes us resilient, strong, and very educated Black community. Now in New Orleans, we don't want no beef with y'all. And that parade that y'all making a big deal over is here to stay. Because what our people went through and the history behind that parade is also historical for our culture here in America. The Zulu Parade not only represents Zulu in Africa. In New Orleans, we are also native to this country. That parade also represents Black natives that was already here in this country. We was taught here in America to love y'all. Now I hate y'all. Y'all don't like us. The people in New Orleans has been in America 300 years before slavery. And that's facts. You could look that shit up. New Orleans people's culture does not start during slavery, baby. Considering we was here 300 years before slavery. Now, if y'all want to come to the city of New Orleans and learn about our culture, come to New Orleans and check us out. We do more than just Mardi Gras, baby. We have museums. We tell our story. Come there and learn about it. But that Zulu parade is happening. I stand behind my people because I know my own history. A lot of people don't know our history, but us. But if you come to New Orleans and your objective is to learn about us and not just party on Bourbon Street, because that's not what we about. That's the French culture, actually. But if you really come to New Orleans and you want to know about us, we have culture. Baby, we have culture. We was here in this country already. And if you want to know more about us, come see about us. Come to New Orleans. Come learn. Instead of posting these nasty-ass videos and mocking slavery, which has nothing to do with the Zulu parade. At the end of the day, we having it. And that's on period.
So South Africans are beefing with Black Americans now? This is not going to end well. Yeah. Okay.
Here in Africa, we don't know what's electricity. We control the sun at any time. You see, it's night time now, but the sun is here. Sun off, sun on, sun off, sun on.
You're going to tell black people that live in the United States how to celebrate their culture.
I'm sorry, but didn't you tell Tyler that she couldn't call herself colored, even though that's like South African culture? I don't know, but go off. I want to hear you though.
Okay, so it says African Zulu. You know that majority of black people ancestors came from Africa. So yeah, it's probably a traditional thing that's been brought down from generation to generation. And
Okay. I think I see what you're trying to do here. But the thing is, you see, if you didn't fail geography and if you didn't fail history, you would find that South Africa is south of Africa, but the transatlantic slave trade took part in the West, mainly. But it's
what the hell does it matter to you? What? Because it's blackface? We black? We got blackface?
Yeah, okay.
Make it make sense. Y'all try anything for a race war against the black Americans. And I feel so sad that some of the black Americans are, they're taking the bait. But
wait, but but you said something now.
I literally spent 3 whole days cursing my thumb. I'm tired.
3 days. 3 days. 3 days. You know Jesus died on the cross and resurrected in 3 days.
I just want to talk about it a little bit to let y'all know, y'all South Africans know, we're not thinking about y'all. That is their culture. I don't even know anything about the Zulu parade, but I respect that because guess what? That's my black people that live in New Orleans. That's their culture. I can't tell them, oh, you can't do that. That's not right. I don't know what's behind that story, and you don't either. So why don't you just sit back and worry about what's going on in South Africa?
Oh, I do love when the oppressed becomes the oppressor. The irony of it all. Oh, makes my feet tingle.
Like, why you still can't even walk around your own country and be free? Leave us alone. Leave us black people alone.
Last time I recalled, you can't do that either, so I don't know what you're talking about, girl.
We don't bother y'all. We don't think about you. Not one day do I sit and be like, I wonder what the South African people are doing over there.
Yeah, of course you don't, because you're one of those black Americans who think blackness and being black is centered around black American culture.
No, I don't. I don't care. And you shouldn't care what goes on in America, because it does not affect you. Okay? Have a nice day. I hope that's helpful.
And it behooves me to know that you spent 3 days on something you don't care about. If you didn't care, then you should have shut the heck up, Lady Sharia, whatever the hell your name is. Stupid ass.
Well, hello there, wandering eyes. It's time for another episode of Crystal preparing you for bullying so that I can stop it. Some might say that it's extremely offensive to yourself as an African to put all that padding in your butt, since Sarah Bartman, it wasn't her real name, was put on display in ZULU.
Yo, I've been laughing at this video since yesterday, especially the way she starts where she's like, well, hello there, wandering eyes. I've been laughing at it since yesterday because I've always said I have crooked eyes, like my eyes are not straight. And I always tell my friends, guys, now I don't like taking pictures because on pictures, it shows that my eyes are like, and then my friends always gaslight me like, no, Chomi, your eyes are fine, your eyes are fine, your eyes are fine. So it's really funny because I've always known, so I'm not offended by it. But from now on, I will start saying I have wandering eyes and not crooked eyes. Wandering eyes is a better terminology. And the same way that blackface is not offensive when a black person does it, I don't think it's offensive when an African stuffs pads into their ass to make it appear bigger. It is offensive when you're not African and you're injecting oils into your ass. Anyway, there wasn't really much to your video. It goes on for 4 minutes. You go in between talking about the Zulu parade, then you jump to my eyes again, then you jump onto a different topic, then we come back to my eyes again and something else, then back to my eyes again. My eyes are giving you sleepless nights. But you know what? When they have nothing of substance to say, they'll come for your looks or they'll try and curse you, because those are all the responses that I've been getting. Curses. Okay, this is the first one, body shaming me. I've been body shamed.
This whole Zulu parade situation has made me start seeing that black Americans should not be allowed to identify as African Americans if they're not willing to put in the work to uphold African dignity, African traditions, and African culture. Because honestly speaking, a lot of black Americans actually don't care about Africa, right? Black Americans only associate with Africa when it's trending, right? When it's in fashion. That's what they do. They use Africa as a costume to make themselves look cool. They don't care about putting in the work,
right? They use Africa as a statement. That's exactly how the Zulu Parade came about. A couple of black Americans thought, you know what, we're gonna use the whole Zulu tribe as a statement. Not caring about the cultural representation of the Zulu people. They just wanted to, make a nice little cool event for themselves. That's why I also feel like the introduction of the term African American that was introduced in 1988 by Jesse Jackson, it created more problems than solutions, right? Because Jesse Jackson, obviously, he wanted, black people in America to have some sense of belonging to culture. How they have, Irish American, Italian American. They also thought, let's also have, African American. But the problem is, as I said, these black Americans, they just don't care about culture, and they're misrepresenting Africa. And Africa already deals with enough misrepresentation by white media, but it's hurtful. It's hurtful when the misrepresentation comes from the very people that somewhat look like us. And the craziest thing you will see is when Africans are now trying to correct black Americans to say, listen, you're misrepresenting African culture. You need to make some changes and adjustments. Then you get black Americans telling Africans to say, you don't know anything about your culture. You need to go on Wikipedia. You're telling that to the actual Zulu people. I kid you not. In the comment section, there's some Americans that are talking to actual Zulu people, and they're telling those Zulu people that they need to go on Wikipedia. And then I'm going to get some black Americans who are going to be like, why are you attacking all black Americans? It's only New Orleans that pissed you off. That's because it's not just the Zulu Parade. I've been seeing the misrepresentation of Africa from black Americans for quite some time, for as long as I've been on this planet. Through your movies, through your fashion shows, through your celebrities, through your events, through my interaction with some of you, you've been misrepresenting Africa. And it needs to be stopped. It needs to be stopped. I must say that we need to look into retiring the term African American. We have to look into it. Especially if people are not willing to put in the work to uphold African dignity, as I said, they shouldn't have the ability to claim that they're African.
Wait, I just heard about the news that South Africa is mad at us for having a Zulu Ball parade. How y'all mad that we got a Zulu Ball parade and we celebrate our African history here? What y'all mad about? That we got the name Zulu here too? How y'all mad at us? They took us from there and brought us here. How y'all mad that we using the Zulu name? No, y'all asses deny. Y'all better stay right where y'all at and be happy that y'all still where y'all come from. Because we not where we come from no more. We from here. Nah. So we got to celebrate what we got here. And y'all got to celebrate what y'all got there. And that's how that go.
This is what Zulu people look like, apparently, according to African Americans, or at least some African Americans. That's why there's this big row going on social media between African Americans and black South Africans, particularly Zulu people. And it's because of this parade. I just learned of this. Apparently, every year in New Orleans, there's a Zulu parade. And how it started dates back more than 100 years ago. Black people weren't allowed or couldn't take part in Mardi Gras celebrations. And so they created their own. And that's how the Zulu Parade was born. It's a big deal, apparently. But the criticism towards this is, well, we have Zulu people, actual Zulu people, 10, 11 million Zulu people in South Africa. And they are outraged because understandably, it's not a true reflection or depiction of their culture. African Americans, the very same people who complained when Tyler referred to herself as a colored woman, are not backing down. They're saying this tradition is not going anywhere. It is here to stay.
Dear African American brothers and sisters, whatever you do not get into any kind of social media wars with Nigerians, South Africans, and Kenyans. Listen, somebody needs to show you how Africa works. Those three, it's like a mixture of Florida, New York, Chicago, and Ohio mixed together. If you want to attack somebody, let me show you the Africans who are like chill and cool. Try Togo, try Niger, try Ghanaians, but you don't want to mess with South Africa or Nigeria. Listen, for those people, hell, there is no bottom to hell. If you go low, they go lower. Why would you even start with them? If they say something is racist, if you're about the Zulu parade, just accept it and move on. Do not try to justify that for them. Now see how they are dragging you online.
Yo, they beat South Africa. They beat South Africa. Yo, I'm kidding. Okay, South Africans were hot. These South Africans were not taking it easy. These South Africans were not having it. But the same way African Americans were like, you think you're from the ghetto? You think you're nasty? We are also nasty. Who did you think won this battle in the Ghostbusters that you saw? And there were some people who actually also came to lay emphasis. I mean, how many clips can I actually bring and show you guys at the end of the day? But what I feel is that this tradition or whatever, this New Orleans Zulu parade, it's not going to end because South Africans are saying, oh, you know, what me I don't support is the face painting that they did, okay, that they painted their face black. I'm one of those persons who don't think deep into all these things, you know, but the way people are, they read the meaning, they think deep into everything, and it is what it is, and here we are. Who knew that there was going to be a day where Black Americans and South Africans are literally fighting each other on social media? Giving this yourself backbones, hot, you guys. Who knew? Anyway, you guys, this is why I draw my curtains for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And I will see you guys in my next video. Adios. Hi, bo.